rise up, let's do it. This is my little bit of a short video. I was gonna do copy, but that's not me at all. So again, permission, do what is your light, not what other people are doing. So I'm doing a video and the lighting's bad because there's wildfires and the smoke, and I'm like, what is happening? I've got the ring on and someone helping, and I was like, do I just do this another time? No, it does not have to be perfect. Just go, just do the thing. And I think, especially with AI and everything's created all perfectly, I think we need the permission to it not being perfect. So let's go. So what is Rise Up? Rise Up to me is for the woman. Maybe this is you. This has definitely been me in the past. Hence why I created Rise Up, mostly for myself. But it's like you're in the back seat. You're the passenger, and the person driving is like going crazy, you know, slamming on the brakes, going up on the curb, like just going somewhere where you have no idea, and you're just along for the ride, and there's no snacks, there's no water. They're just, you know, it has nothing to do, it's not how you would do the trip. It's not how you would do it. And so it's getting you back into the driver's seat of like, you're in control. You're the one making the decisions. You know where you're going. However, you're not gripping. This is going to be a program where, yes, you're in the driver's seat, but you're not gripping, being like, oh my gosh, there's an accident. I have to get there at this deadline. I have to get there now. Or, oh my gosh, you're gonna be late. Like, oh my goodness. Whatever it is, like, you know when you're driving and it's like you're trying to get to this destination, you're like gripping on it, and you're like, oh, I gotta get there, and bad things happen, and you're like, you're mad, you're honking. I don't honk somewhere, but maybe you do that. You know, you're getting worked up. I don't want that kind of control in the driver's seat. We also have our beautiful GPS system, Google. And that's like the universe. That's like your spirit guides. So you plug in the destination because I want you, and I'm going to teach this, how to make clear, that's safe to your body of intention. So you plug in the destination. However, you allow the universe, spirit guides, whoever you believe in, they're guiding you. They're telling you how you're going to get there, because that's not our job to know how. We might know the first step to get there, but that's it. And so when there's a detour, you're like, oh, well, there's a reason there's a detour. Maybe it helped me to not get into a car accident, or maybe there was car accident, or maybe there's flooding, right? Like, we don't know, but there can be detours, and we want the magic. This course is still allowing the magic, and you're just having a great time. Yeah, challenges come through, and you're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna tap it out. Hands still on the wheel, but maybe then the universe takes over for a bit, you know. Universe, I just need you, and we're just gonna tap it out a bit, and you're driving. You know, those cars that can drive themselves. So that's what I want. That's the outcome I would love for this, for you, after going through my program. So I guide women back to being in control and balance, getting back to the balance, the harmony. And I drew a card when I was creating this, and I was like, okay, here guys, what's like the outcome? What's the whole point of this? And it's backwards, but just look at the picture. That's beautiful. You see the spiral? Oh my God, beautiful. The moon. Is that the moon? I don't know. Anyways, it says the rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. And my whole existence is harmony and balance and that alignment and flow, because for years I was definitely in there, in that alignment and flow where things were happening. And I manifested a lot, like travel, money, like insane. And then my divorce happened, and I've had to reteach myself of the same process, but updated and better, which is what what I'm gonna teach you here, well, in the course. So the outcome is that balance, harmony of feeling when to go and when to rest. There's still going to be space for slowness. It's not going to be this overwhelm like do. So the benefit is you're going to feel in control of your life again. The outcome, the next time you have to face a big decision or a small decision, you're going to have the tools, because usually when I have that big decision or there's transition or there's something that you've got to do, it's like overwhelm, anxiety. And the next time this happens, you're going to have the tools to bring yourself, sigh of relief, back down to neutral, so that you know what the decision is. And it's not going to AI. It's not asking a million people what you should do. I'm guilty of this, going to AI and what should I do? It's not, you know it. And I'm going to teach you how to know your truth. Tap into that intuition. Tap on what's a yes, what's a no, using your human design as well. So here are some results from working with other one-to-one clients. So one client was finally gave herself permission to take Wednesdays off to do her passions, which was gardening. Gave herself that permission and felt and knew how to feel safe doing that, because she didn't feel safe doing it before. Putting the boundary in of leaving work at 4:30 so she could put herself first, do a decompression as soon as she got home, where it was like a boundary with her family, being like, no, I need time to decompress after work, so that she could step fully more of having more time, energy for her family, because that was important to her. So she realigned and she wanted to quit her job. And I remember her being like, work isn't actually that bad. Why? Because she put boundaries, which I'm going to teach, because that's super important. Another one was releasing the guilt for putting herself first, for taking time off work to focus on her healing. And there was a lot of guilt around. We released it, and she was like, yeah. Now she even, before she wouldn't even sign up for a course during the week. And so she signed up on Monday. She's like, no, this is a priority. I am signing up for this course and I am sticking with it. Instead of just signing in and be like, oh, if work got in the way, that was more a priority. No. We are the priority. Because then you can do your job better instead of being in the resentment. Let's get rid of the resentment. Another client changed jobs because she realized her current job was a bit toxic for her because it didn't align with her values. Went to a better job she knew what her values were, and she knew, okay, this job, and she wasn't in touch with her body. And I remember this text being like, yeah, I just know it's a yes. I just know this job is a no, and I know this one's a yes. And before she couldn't even, and I was like, did you just catch that you just said your body told you yes? She's like, oh my God, I didn't even notice. And I'm like, yeah. Another one was a new job opportunity landing in her lap without her doing anything, and she wanted a new job. Collaborations coming through without having to search for it. So that's just some of the results that are huge. They might seem small. They don't seem small. Even like this little small win just seems so big. Now, what is the structure for this? We're going to have weekly calls. It's a 6-week program. It's going to be a bit longer, but let me explain why it's going to be longer. But it's 6 weeks where we are going to be working together. So weekly calls, it is a group program with just three. I want to make it intimate because this is the first time putting this program into place where there's an actual structure. Instead of it just being my one-on-ones, it was more just like flow, but we would tap into those. So a structure of weekly calls where we come together in a group program, because I've gotten so much value of just listening to what other people are going through and being like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through. And there's like an instant support system, like it's just safe. And before it was a bit of a growth thing for me to be vulnerable about others, but once you do that support, oh my gosh, there's nothing better. You'll be getting weekly journal prompts so that you can see your progress, and then I'm very good at like seeing what's going on underneath the surface, the patterns that you might not consciously be aware of. So those journal prompts are just going to help me to be like, oh, okay, this is where we need to go. Because there is a structure, but and we're still going to float because the dynamic of the group is going to be amazing because we're all going to be aligned. There's going to be a reason why we've all come together, and I can't wait to find that out. So there is going to be flow in it, depending on what's happening. There's going to be activities to complete in between calls. Not overwhelming. Please, I'm not going to be like, you're going to be spending so many hours on this. No, I don't like overwhelm. I have whittled this down to the most, what's going to move the needle the most. And being a primary school teacher, I've really honed this craft of like what actually is important to get to where we want to go. You are going to have text and voice note support in between calls in case something comes up. You're going to also have an instant support system, which I've discussed, and an integration period because I'm going on holidays. So we're starting in August. So we're going to have 4 weeks together. Then we're going to take 3 weeks off. And how I've organized it is then that's the integration period. So it's not like overwhelmed. Here's all the things. And then it's like each week you have to like do all the things. No, you're going to have 3 weeks to be like, okay, this is what I've been taught. I'm going to actually put it into practice and get the wisdom instead of it being like not doing the things, like going full speed and then not actually implementing it and not it becoming a habit, wisdom, patterns. So here are the 3 steps. We are going to, step 1 and step 2, we're going to bounce back and forth. So step 1 is lunar rhythms. Of course, there's going to be moon because I'm a moonologer. So how to organize your calendar so that you have balance between the masculine and feminine energy, because that's how you create harmony, is the doing, but also the resting, the play, so that magic can happen. I'm going to guide you on clear intentions that is safe for your nervous system. It's taking the baby steps and using, so the new moon is on the 12th. We're going to start with a new moon intention when we come together on August 10th. And then a grounded action plan that has space for slowness. Step 2, badass mindset. And this is more with the nervous system. So I'm going to teach you a million tools because everyone, it's not like a million, but a lot of tools because some tools are going to resonate more with other people. I'm never going to be the one to say, you need to do it this way because everyone is different. How I do it is not how other people want to do it. So tools to create safety in the body. I'm going to teach you how to create a mindset workout. So yes, work on your body. You need to also work out on your mind. Game changers. This is how to keep you grounded. So we're always letting off the steam instead of it's like, you just let everything like come up and you're like, and then you let go. No, each day we're going to be letting go so nothing just builds up. And help remove the blocks. So working with the nervous system helps to create safety so that your nervous system, your bodyguard isn't like blocking things that can easily come in. So it's almost like magic of things, opportunities coming in. And then the third step, the rise up. So this is where I will teach you your human design so you know when you're on the right path and when you're not on the right path and what that feels like for you. We're going to go into our pillars, figure out what our 4 pillars are of values so that you know how to make decisions of what's a yes and what's a no, so that you are only doing things that hit your super important values, because that's going to give you more fulfillment. You're not just saying yes to things and then it being like, it drains you. How many times do you say yes to something and then you're like, I should have done that, and then it just drains you? Yeah, probably because it has nothing to do with your values, or maybe just 2 or 1. We're going to do boundary work because there's no way you are going to be able to do your pillars, know what's a yes or no if you're saying yes to everything. So it's putting boundaries in so that you are putting yourself first. And in order to put yourself first, that means you can give from an overflowing cup instead of one of burnout. Where this is where boundary work helps with burnout, and it's the most loving thing you can do. And then we're also going to tap into the body of teaching you what a yes or no feels like. So that's your intuition. So this is so if you are thinking like, yes, I need to get into your space. Yes, I want a community. Yes, I want more harmony. Yes, I want to get into back to the driver's seat. However, I also want to get into the driver's seat without feeling like everything has to be perfect and in control and gripping, because you do want that magic to come in. When you are in flow, when we create safety in our body, in our nervous system, it allows more magic to come in, opportunities to come in. You're like, wow, that was magic. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And it can be scary doing things outside of our comfort zone, or doing things that we haven't done before. And it's so good to be with a community, because we can be like, I'm having a tough day. That was really tough, but I did it anyways. And then we can celebrate you being like, yeah, that must have been so tough and scary, but you did it. Like, and then it's just an amazing thing. So if you want to join, please DM me. I'll have my email and my links below. If you have any questions, please, again, hit me up. I will answer anything to make sure that this is the right fit. I only want it to be if it's a yes, not, I'm never going to be like, you should do this. I don't know. That's everyone's decision, not mine. You know what's best. Oh, and the investment for 6 weeks is going to be really 9 weeks, but integration period is going to be, for in Canadian dollars, $297. So get in. This is going to be the lowest price it's going to be. Deadline of when this is going to, of when you need to do this. Let's just look that up. If you stay to the end, okay, just wait for me. I want it a week before we start. So I guess 10 takeaways is the 3rd. Okay, August 3rd is the deadline for you to make a decision on this. So super pumped, super excited that if you are going to join, can't wait to meet you. Yeah.